been looking forward to getting this from X Layout. It's a phone and tablet holder, but it's far from a standard one. Well, they certainly weren't really premium with the unboxing experience. I was a little concerned that it might not fit on a reasonably thick worktop, but there's actually plenty of room here. We've got like felt padding here and here, so it's not going to mark the worktop. Yeah, that's nice and secure. So this rotates with a nice satisfying ticking noise. And I guess this pulls out of here. Yeah, so there's the arm. And then we've got like a ball and socket joint here. So I must undo this, pop that on, and then screw that into place. So it's very poseable, and you can twist this ball and socket joint to various different angles. And I think the first thing I'm going to try is my iPad, which is an 11-inch iPad Pro. So let's slot that in, and that holds that nice and strongly. And let's lower that a bit so it's nearer to the keyboard. And let's also plug in the little dongle. You can use a Bluetooth keyboard, but I don't have one at the moment. And so I can edit my video with that. And I can use various different features. So if I wanted, say, Safari, I could start typing that and launch that, and then move up and down the page and so on. So it works very well with my iPad. I can also use this with my MacBook. So if I go into displays, I can add a display and my iPad, and you'll see that it will switch over on the iPad. And if I move my mouse over to the right hand side, you can see it moves. So if I was to pick an app, I can drag that over to this screen and it becomes a nice functional display, but I can also move that around if the need happens that I need to use touchscreen or anything. I can move it closer to me or move it up. I can also do this. So if I raise it up and pop my MacBook underneath it, so then what I would need to do is under displays, I would use the arrange function, which is here, and just move that over the top. So then I can go up to the top, choose OS, and I can play around with that. But I can go down here and I can start to browse my YouTube channel and so on. Another thing we can do, and I haven't tried this yet, I've been waiting to make a video on it, is this is an iPhone 11, which I usually use for my videos, so apologies if the video doesn't look as good. This is an Honor View 20 camera that's recording this. But if I call up Photo Booth on here, or anything that uses a camera, you can see the overall quality is pretty ropey on the MacBook camera, and it's even worse on a lot of laptops. But if I switch to camera and Lee 256, then this is my iPhone camera and it's immediately much sharper. Yeah, that looks much nicer. So another great use for it, and also because this is posable, I could spin this around to look at something else. And it's got that really cool ticking sound. Really like that. How about this Windows setup with a Melee mini PC? So touchscreen is also working, so we can angle it and launch apps and so on from the touchscreen, so say the Edge browser, and all that works really nicely. Now check this out as a neat setup. So I've got one cable going into power, and then I've just got a USB-C cable going into the monitor. And by the way, this is a 14-inch WiMAX monitor. So if I switch on, it's currently running Android, but it also runs Linux as well. And as you can see, touchscreen is working. So if I was going to go to Kodi, you can see that's launching. I could then move to mouse and keyboard if I wanted to. But yeah, what a super neat setup with the display being powered by the device and also supplying all the touch controls and everything. Amazing. So they talk about 12.9 inch being the maximum size, but if I move this up, you can see there's still a bit of clearance there as well. So let's just unplug this. I'm not going to try a bigger monitor. I'm actually going to go for a smaller monitor. I had this one ready because I thought I was going to have to use this size instead. So let's plug that in, just to USB-C, and that should boot up just the same. The Caddis Edge Pro also has this same sort of functionality where it can work with a USB-C cable, although the resolution doesn't look as good on that, but maybe because it started out with a different monitor. So let's just restart that. It doesn't look so bad on that screen. So if I was going to go for movie library, ignore, and you can see all of that is working absolutely fine. And if I unplug this from here, so I've got nothing else plugged into this setup, and introduce my Honor View 20 phone, which is what I was using to record earlier on. On screen I get an option for wired projection, so I've just clicked on that, and you can see, I wonder what happens. I need to find a way of doing that, because that would be really good to be able to orient that so that it would work. But for now, let's use the DeX mode. So phone and desktop, it's not DeX, DeX is on Samsung, Magic Desktop. The phone acts as a touchpad, but also you can use a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, which I've got here. So it's currently connected to my Echo. So put the keyboard in pairing mode by pressing and holding the button, and Bluetooth keyboard 592416, 592416. Yeah, that's working, so I can use this a bit like a Chromebook really. So things like web browser, Android games, things like that, maps, all of that sort of stuff. But you've also got the touchscreen, and I need to work out how to put it into vertical mode, because some people want to run it in vertical mode. Obviously you can on a desktop computer use this in vertical mode, but it doesn't switch at the moment. But that's more operating system rather than anything else. So it doesn't go quite as small as a second generation iPod Touch, but that's only a 3.5-inch screen. And I'd say you're looking at probably 14 centimeters being the smallest phone height that you're going to be able to put in there. As soon as I saw this could be put into vertical mode, I thought of this Android build, which is basically a load of Android games and emulators, but several of them are in a proper vertical build. So we pick all displays and we go for arcade, and we can pick from any of the games on here. Let's do 1943, because some games are just meant to be played in a vertical screen, and this is excellent for this. Yeah, great to see. And it also looks really nice on my desk as well, so I've got it mounted on my cupboard at the side and just flipped over, and so I can move it around, move it out the way, move it up and down. Yeah, super useful. Okay, so I hope all this helps. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.